Greetings, darling. It's Naima Singletary here with the Power to Lead, which is where I am every weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Paris time. And starting March 21st, my live time will change. I'm not sure what time it will change to, but March 21st, the time will be changing. And today's topic, my gift to you, is harnessing both the quantum realm and your DNA to produce the results that you desire, and what are the good and bad of that, of harnessing the quantum realm and your DNA. So first, this, who I'm talking to, right? Because depending on who you are, you're gonna have a different experience with this, or even different results with this. Who I'm speaking to specifically, and you might feel like I'm being redundant if you come here regularly and you hear me speak. However, I'd like to reiterate and be clear for those who may be here for the first time. I am here speaking to those who know that they are born to affect massive positive change in their business. They reject the status quo. They are governed by a immovable black hole of a power. And when I refer to black hole, I'm referring to the power that is of the black holes and the actual black holes of the universe. They are governed by this level of demand and black hole and power. They have refused their entire lives to settle for long, because they refused to settle for long into the matrix, into the way things are, and have experienced the anxiety and the suicidal tendencies associated with not birthing their signature work. And therefore, unequivocally are demanding that they be in right relationship with those who nurture and support and encourage and quicken all that is within them, and bringing that out to serve in the massive way and the aligned way and the unique way that they are meant to serve. So that's who I'm talking to, and on behalf of, when I speak about harnessing the quantum realm in your DNA. So I say that because the experience for you and I is a life of intensity and learning how to be with and manage the intensity. And so to get the definition, an extended definition of what is the quantum realm, you can go to Monday's video where I gave the definition and talked about how you can apply it to your life. So in the simple form, I'll say now is the quantum realm, harnessing the quantum realm is the ability to take future thoughts, expectations for the future, and content from other dimensions and bringing it into now sooner than later. That's a simplified, quick definition of harnessing the quantum realm. And your DNA is, right, self-explanatory. So before I go into the detail, just imagine you, as who I described earlier, harnessing the speed of the quantum realm, like producing results quickly, literally changing reality within hours, a day, minutes because of your ability to harness the quantum realm. And then also having this DNA in you that was born to affect massive positive change. Like my back is doing a thing right now just talking about this. So I want to like give some presence to the gravity of that and how necessary it is, right? Like at this point, you should be here. You should be feeling this tremendously if you are who I've described. And even if you aren't, just like some kind of awareness of that's powerful if you are not what I've been describing. So what's the good in harnessing the quantum realm and your DNA? All the awesome things you can do to make a difference. You have a project that is out of your comfort zone. And out of your comfort zone just means the level of the level of expansion that you've experienced and allowed so far. Because once you get comfortable with that thing that you were uncomfortable with, you're no longer uncomfortable. And that's because you have stretched into that, where that has become normal. So then your next discomfort comes in stretching yet again. So comfort zones, there's nothing. Like those are meant to be stretched, comfort zones. And so the good, you get to, you have this project, right? That's unlike anything you've ever done. It's going to require energy of you that you've never exerted. It's going to require money that you've never invested before. It's going to require even a new way of how you start to see things and feel about things so that you can be the person who can lead and charge this project. And in harnessing the quantum realm and doing that, you're able to, oh my God, collapse time and space. You're able to collapse time and space. So an example here of the good of this is I put together a program for women to come to Milan, Italy to work with me. This was some years ago. To come and work with me in Italy for a month. And I had anchored it in me before I said anything to the public. I had really gotten to myself. Remember yesterday I talked about desire. I had really gotten down into myself about the desire of what do I know would be the highest and best way to serve next. I was sitting on my couch in Italy and asking myself this question, and alone and a real earnest and grounded, like what is that way? And it just came to me. The name of it came to me. The way it would look. It just, everything came. The speed of it, right? I was harnessing the quantum realm at this time and didn't even realize it. Like I knew I was powerful. I didn't have language for what it is that I was doing. So before I announced it to the public, like maybe later that day or the next day, I shared it with one of my clients. She immediately signed up. Then I put it out there. That was in like December, I think. And I put it out there. The people just started showing up. Inquiries just started showing up. Folks were paying and they were like, the speed of it all, right? This is the first time I had ever, was this the first time? Wait, what was this? This was the second time I had ever done. First of all, the fact to come to work with me for a month in Italy, like that was big for me at the time. That was like out of the comfort zone at the time. So for me to create such speed inside of something that was so uncomfortable for me was an example of harnessing the quantum realm. And how do you do that? I talked about doing that on Monday. I will reiterate that and saying where you really bring into now the reality that you're looking to create, where there's no such thing as next week. There's no such thing as 6 months from now. It's as I have this now, as I have these women working with me in Milan right now, what does that look like? And then everything just starts to come. If you're particularly ready for it, like if you're truly asking from a place of, you cannot force this. The quantum realm doesn't work like that. So boom. Now the not so bright side is wherever on the third dimension you are weak, because part of what's necessary in being a strong leader is being able to deal with folks here on the third dimension. Here on the third dimensions, we have emotions, which I have said are, I know they make us human, right? And we love to be poetic about emotions, and it's here. It's just a fact of what we deal with here as humans is emotions, the resistance and all the emotions and everything that associated with being human. And so much of what makes us human has zero to do with the quantum realm. The quantum realm is about speed. It doesn't care about color. It doesn't care about deadlines. It doesn't care, well, it does respond to deadlines. What I mean is all the stuff that we make an issue here, religion and, feelings and color and, whatever, vanity and Trump, politics and all of the stuff that is like taking up so much energetic space in people's minds and bodies, the quantum realm does not care about. Zero. It doesn't care about where you came from. It doesn't care about how much money you have and don't have. It doesn't care about none of that. Quantum realm does not care. So what happens is if you're somebody who either consciously or unconsciously harnesses the quantum realm, you bring something quickly into your reality of now, and you aren't ready for it on a third dimensional level, you can make mistakes. And that's what I did. I made this Milan program that I created. All of it was like heart level, quantum realm level production. Oh my God. It was like high. Like I was engaging all of these high faculties to create it. Then when it came time to actually living it out, when it came time to actually being in the third dimensional element of it, where I'm dealing with people who have their own human stuff, right? The different personalities, right? Where I was weak at in my third dimensional play, my leadership, my ability to even be able to govern other people's emotions versus thinking that I could just stay in a heart and quantum space and things will work themselves out. Now, there's a nuance in that. I'm not going to go into that now, but that's the bad part, okay? So the good part is you can produce a result very quickly, okay? So this is like folks get their first 5-figure client or their first multiple 5-figure clients. And if they're not steady here on the third dimension, meaning they don't have their systems in place, like their financials, their whatever kind of financial structure is required for them to be able to have that money, use it efficiently, invest it efficiently, etc., then what ends up happening is they end up losing it all. In some kind of spending it leaking over here, certain things start to come out the woodworks, and before you know it, they don't have it anymore. That's the bad side of harnessing the quantum realm. And so let's park this for here. So quantum realm, because I haven't said anything about DNA yet. Quantum realm. So you can create things very quickly. And I want to say this about the bad part. The bad part is actually also good, because you get strong in the area where you're weak. Like you bring in money that you've never brought in before very quickly, and you squander it. You learn from that and you become better. Because oftentimes we don't even know where we're weak until something happens that illuminates it. Now, what ends up happening is if we don't have the emotional capacity and the high sight to be able to look at a thing as happening for us and not to us, then that's when we become, we quit and we, turn into victims, and like that boring stuff that is uninteresting happens. However, when you can see clearly, you recognize, this is great. So then you start wanting to harness the quantum realm, not only for the results that you're able to produce, but for the illumination of where it is that you want to strengthen so that your higher level self becomes way more powerful here on this third dimension. See, that's what I didn't know when I organized this program back then. And I'm so grateful to know it now and for upcoming projects. Yeah. So you get better. You get better. And, you got to engage your forgiveness and compassion. And basically, compassion is not victimizing yourself. All right. So that's harnessing quantum realm. Now, DNA, my God. So DNA is where I sent an email to my list on Saturday, and I talked about you either got it or you don't. You got it or you don't. You either know you were meant to do this or you don't. That's DNA. Okay? That's down here. That's a differentiator. Everybody can harness the quantum realm. Everybody. Every single human being can harness the quantum realm. All of us. What divides us is DNA. Meaning, you were born, like the way I am, I was like this as a kid. There was no coaching program that could give this to me. There's no mentor. There's no course. You either got it or you don't. I was determined to figure out my way as a teenager. I was determined to create my own money as a teenager. I left my mother's house when I was 14. My mother said when I was like 5, I stood out among all the kids at preschool. My mother said when I was 6, she was getting ready to take me to school. She was like in the shower or something. And I left the house and went up the hill and went to school with the other kids at 6, 5 or 6. DNA. You got it or you don't. You can be coached by the best coach. You got it or you don't. So when I say born, as I have said repeatedly here on this show and in other places, when I talk about you being born to birth your signature work and you having that thing, meaning and that it's already done. The promise has already been given to you. It's just your job to go out and claim it, to fight, to cultivate yourself, to be able to have it, hold it, and use it. That's your job. DNA. You got it. Anything like, and that's what makes for us, and I'm getting ready to wrap up here. For us, that's what makes our suffering the level of suffering that we have. Because when your DNA is bubbling, like when you were born with this, and you don't get it out, it's like suicide. It's like implosion. It's mental implosion, it's spiritual implosion, it's emotional implosion. And at some point, you get yourself right little by little in the beginning, right? Especially when you don't understand the quantum realm and you're still weighed down by the laws that govern the third dimension. Blech. But then once you really start getting into your thing, your voice, your way, and you stop letting yourself be distracted by anything that pulls you away from what you are born to do, that's where there's the suffering. That's why we suffer the way we do. And it's also why I want to say this before I go. We are not currently the dominant voices in the world. Us. Those of us who are truly carving our own way, who think in the transformation space, but even outside the transformation space, there's been a lot of terror, which is very different from fear. There's been a lot of terror around folks being true publicly. I'm telling you, we can now. We can now. The portal has opened. The time is now. We can now. We are, gosh, we are alive now. We are alive now. I'm alive now. You're alive now. We got it, man. So I'm getting ready to go stream a master transmission inside of my private Facebook group. It's called 5-Figure Clients for Melanin Messengers. I start at 9:30 a.m. Pacific this morning. And this stream, this transmission is meant to cause a quickening for us, to cause a quickening in the way you're able to see, to cause a quickening in what you're able to produce, to cause a quickening in your ability to handle what you once could not handle, your ability to shift your consciousness in an instant so that you can start to see in ways you couldn't see before, so you can start to have in ways you couldn't have before. This is a master transmission. I've never done it before, and I'm getting ready to do it in about 8 minutes inside of my private Facebook group called 5-Figure Clients for Melanin Messengers. Lots of love, and I'll see you tomorrow, unless I see you in 8 minutes inside the group.